Taylor Swift's new Eras Tour docuseries does not tell the whole story. What we got instead is a carefully orchestrated PR narrative meant to give fans only the shallowest glimpse into what's going on behind the curtain, and to cover up everything that's happened beforehand with Taylor's messy breakups early on in the tour. But let's talk about what was happening in the month leading up to this docuseries release, because there seemed to be a completely different message being sent. This isn't just a video about celebrity gossip, it's also a video about brand sponsorships and how celebrities can manipulate the public's perception with news articles, interviews, and social media discourse to hide a hidden agenda underneath. November 5th, 2025, Taylor and Travis go out to dinner at the Ralph Lauren Polo Bar with Disney CEO Bob Iger in New York. It was probably just a business meeting to discuss the rollout of the documentary, but what makes it weird is that it was at the Polo Bar. Alright, let me explain. Taylor wanted to buy back her masters from Shamrock Capital, which is an investment firm with financial ties to Disney and ESPN Network. I had speculated previously that as part of the arrangement to buy her masters back, Taylor needed to agree to have her future documentaries and concert shows air exclusively on Disney+, and she needed to boost ESPN's viewership numbers by dating a high-profile athlete. At that point, Taylor hadn't been paparazzi'd at the Polo Bar in years, but it's quite a coincidence that both her and Travis wore a lot of Ralph Lauren polo clothing in their engagement photos, which were taken on the same day that they filmed the New Heights podcast where they announced her new album. Taylor also claims that she had no idea that a surprise proposal was going to happen that day.
And is that the actual proposal?
It is, actually. So he really crushed it when it came to surprising me. We filmed the podcast. Meanwhile, behind his house, he was having the whole back garden turned into this.
But you're telling me that they both just happened to change into matching Ralph Lauren clothing with a Ralph Lauren product placement on her shelf, and then Taylor and Travis later go out to do more business deal stuff with a Disney CEO at a Ralph Lauren restaurant. It sounds like this dinner was almost like a 2-for-1 business outing with Disney and Ralph Lauren as their sponsors. And that flower arbor that Travis supposedly had arranged for their engagement photos.
One of the things that he put in there very strategically was a wall of hedges that weren't there before.
Looks almost like the one from the Bejeweled music video where Jack Antonoff played a prince who was forced to propose to Taylor, but then she ghosted. Somehow, I am having a hard time believing that Travis was in charge of set designing that day. But whatever they spoke about with Bob Iger seemed to result in Disney Plus totally capitalizing on the relationship aspect of it all, because leading up to the first 2 episode drops, Disney Plus releases an extremely Travis-heavy promo trailer to get all of the Tavis shippers hyped to watch the docuseries, as if Taylor's greatest professional achievement in her life centers around Travis, the guy that came in halfway through the tour. It's also pretty ironic that the director of this docuseries is the same one who directed the Kelce sports documentary. But despite Travis's heavy promo, Taylor continues to do some strange pap walks in the week leading up to the docuseries drop. On December 8th, a Tuesday night, she goes out to dinner with her friend Esty Haim, the same Esty Haim from the Bejeweled music video, which Taylor seems to be recreating lately.
I simply adore a proposal. The single most defining thing a lady could hope to achieve in her lifetime.
And if you're familiar with the song Nobody No Crime,
Esty's a friend of mine. We meet up every Tuesday night for dinner and a glass of wine.
Taylor murders a dude at the end of the song. And considering what happened the week before, it seems that dude is Travis Kelce. That's because soon after all that carefully planned promo drops, Travis has to go and screw it up for everyone. On December 1st, he goes on Instagram and accidentally reposts a video of a hot Instagram model twerking. Eventually, he realizes his mistake and takes it down, but not after people start commenting on the original post, and the creator herself acknowledges it, and then it starts to catch steam on Reddit snark subs. And what do you know? 2 days later, Tree Payne, Taylor's publicist, decides to put out an article on her favorite publication, People.com, with a fluff piece talking about how Taylor and Travis have never gotten into an argument in 2.5 years of dating. And then, to reinforce that, the very next day, an exclusive source reveals to Page 6 that Travis and Taylor's exact wedding date has already been planned, and it's set to be on June 13th, 2026. And then 5 days later, an investigative Rolling Stone article comes out on December 9th and defends Taylor and claims that most of the negative discourse accusing her of being a Nazi is actually from a coordinated smear campaign run by bot accounts. It's just interesting timing to drop that article the week of the docuseries release and when everything else is going so wrong. And while all of this is happening, the original video with the twerking influencer mysteriously gets taken down, and that popular post on the Travis and Taylor Snark subreddit quietly gets deleted. And then Taylor goes to another freaking Chiefs game. Then later, some BS article on the International Business Times UK pops up saying that the whole debacle with Travis accidentally reposting that video never even happened, and that the whole thing was falsified by snarkers. And that same BS website also posted another article saying that Taylor Swift totally did not have any connection or input with Rolling Stone regarding the investigative smear campaign bot article. Gee, thanks, International Business Times. I really wonder who is paying you. And that, my friends, is what we call a PR cover-up in action. Now, this is a side note, but this exact same thing has happened before. Every time this particular photo of Travis pops up on Reddit, it is quickly deleted by mysterious forces. And I know this because I tried posting it on Reddit myself, and my posts were taken down almost immediately. Same thing happened for other people, apparently. It's just a really hard photo to find on the internet now. And yeah, I don't know when or where that photo came from, and I'm not claiming to know that Travis was definitely cheating on Taylor whenever this photo was taken, but I am saying that sometimes the cover-up is more interesting than the incident. Anyway, around the same time Taylor's team is doing damage control for Travis, Matty Healy, Taylor's ex, was strangely pretty active on TikTok. On November 23rd, he posted a cover of him performing Carolina in My Mind by James Taylor. It's just interesting because Carolina sounds kind of like his song Oh Caroline, which is about Taylor Swift and even features her lookalike stand-in in the music video. Then, on November 24th, he posted a Cryptic TikTok video referencing Vanessa Hudgens' song Sneaker Nights and Leaves. I don't really know what that means yet, but I guess maybe an Easter egg? And for whatever reason, he really wants people in the comments to remember those details. And then on December 2nd, he went to a fundraiser event called Sunday for Sammy, and there he confirmed to a fan that he's working on not one, but 2 albums. The first one is called God Has Entered My Body, and the other one is called Dogs. Now it seems like it could be a potential double album, just like the Tortured Poets Department. Anyway, at that event, he did also play this bit of music for the audience. More interesting if you remember this weird line from Taylor on Jimmy Fallon's interview from the month previously.
Spotted walking a mystery dog in Florida. That was an odd one.
I have never walked a dog in Florida or maybe ever.
All right, there you go.
They should be able to run free.
Yeah, no, they should.
Let them free. Let them loose, right? They come back.
Loose,
Don't
yeah.
they come back? That's the cool thing about dogs.
All right.
You call them and they just come back. They come back to you.
That's not true at all. And I'm going to call
if you love your dog,
let him free. That's not true at all. Let
if
it roam.
loves you too,
Let
it will
roam.
come back to you.
All right.
There's a chance that the Black Dog might not even be about a real bar, but actually a bar of music that Matty might have played or listened to at some point.
Do you have to tell the Black Dog pub that they might be getting a few calls?
I did not, and still nobody knows like what I'm even talking about on that song. They think they know. They have no idea.
All right, let me explain. In this docuseries, Taylor is wearing this Led Zeppelin tour shirt, which just so happens to be from 1975. Matty is a fan of Led Zeppelin. He referenced the cover art for Physical Graffiti, an album that came out in 1975, in his music video and performance for the song Sincerity is Scary. And looking back, Taylor has also made references to Led Zeppelin as well, with the song The Black Dog and the album How the West Was Won.
I forget how the West was won.
Plus, she's already referred to music as bars before. You smoked, then ate 7 bars of chocolate. It just seems like something only 2 musicians would understand the meaning to. So the fact that she's wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt from 1975 is actually really interesting. There was also another interesting 1975 reference when she announced a release date change for the last 2 episodes, that instead of airing on December 26th like they were supposed to, now they're airing on December 23rd instead. It's just funny because Matty has a song where he says, "I'll be home on the 23rd." And then this video where she announces a date change just so happens to have the same outfit that she recreated from her interview with Zane Lowe, as if to call back to some of the weird cryptic things she said previously on that interview.
On the theme of what the showgirl is, all of this is part of it.
Let's get something very clear with the way that Taylor operates on press interviews. Ever since Ellen DeGeneres traumatized her on national TV, Taylor does not go into an interview unprepared. The way it works is that Taylor or her team will have a discussion with the host about questions that they're allowed to ask or topics that she wants them to talk about. And Taylor will prepare a script and an answer to every question beforehand and make sure she's intentional with everything that she's about to say, even if it includes shoehorning weird references and Easter eggs into the interview, despite it being totally awkward and out of place in a normal conversation. Which basically describes the craziest thing that happened the night before the docuseries came out, which was Taylor's appearance on Stephen Colbert. Let me tell you, as someone who's been paying extremely close attention to Taylor and Matty, the references that she made on Stephen Colbert were crazier and more obvious than all of the surprise songs we got on the entire Eras tour. Oh my god. Starting with right before the interview airs, we get this promo, and it's Taylor and Steven lip-syncing to her song, Hey Steven,
Hey, Steven, I know looks can be.
with her staring dead ass into the camera. Hey Steven is Matty's favorite Taylor Swift song. She has turned that song into like a bat signal for Matty. She dedicated Hey Steven to Matty upon request when they were together.
Have like people close to me to make requests.
Matty has even posted that song to his stories back in 2022. She even made Taylor Nation play Hey Steven on repeat for 13 minutes straight on Matty's birthday on April 8th back in 2021. She sang a mashup of Hey Steven and Speak Now after Matty's engagement to troll the hell out of him. And she also did Hey Steven and Maroon on the Eras Tour too, which is ironic since Maroon is also a Matty song, and she wore this maroon dress with a ruby necklace on the Stephen Colbert interview. Like, all of this to say, I think she might have even specifically picked Stephen Colbert as the host for this interview solely because his name is also Stephen, and she wanted plausible deniability to drop this little Easter egg specifically for Matty. That, combined with the fact that also around this time, her merch store does a flash sale of 75% off items, 75, like the 1975 Matty's Band, all of that is interesting. Then she finally walks onto the show, and even the walk-on song is a reference. It is not a Taylor Swift song. It is a song by James Taylor and Carole King called You've Got a Friend. Oh my god, remember that James Taylor Carolina cover Matty had just posted 2.5 weeks before? So in the interview, she goes on a tangent about the audiobooks that she's into.
If you've got like an old, like rambling, shambles, old British mansion covered in moss or ivy.
Ivy is a Matty song, and is about how when she was with Joe, the thought of being with Matty instead was creeping into her mind like ivy. Next line she says is,
and there's like a mysterious relationship, and he may not be what he seems.
That to me sounds like how many Matty haters totally get him wrong. Remember, there was that whole Speak Up Now campaign from the fans to demand that Taylor break up with Matty based on false accusations.
And there's like a murder that has happened in the past, but you hear whispers of it. There's like the idea of a ghost or an actual ghost. I saw a ghost. Oh no, it was a ghost. It was a ghost. It was a ghost.
Let's count all the times Matty has been referred to as ghost-like. I thought my house was haunted. I used to live with ghosts. You holy ghost. Dancing phantoms on the terrace. My beloved ghost and me. Your hologram stumbled into my apartment.
If you present me with a plot line where there's like a family compound on an island off the coast of Maine, there's secrets in this family, right? If there's a marriage and the marriage isn't what it seems, and it seems like this dude is like, clearly, like, why are you with him? He's horrible to you. Oh, plot twist, unreliable narrator. She's the psycho.
Then she talks about the people in her life she can trust for advice.
People in my life and my family are all just so locked down in terms of like, I can tell them anything and it never ends up in the press.
Like Stevie Nicks.
I have Stevie Nicks in my life in a way that like affects me positively constantly.
It's funny she mentioned Stevie because Taylor did get Stevie Nicks to write a poem for the Tortured Poets Department that specifically talks about Matty. And Stevie Nicks is very familiar with Matty, considering they did a whole podcast episode together.
I've studied your records like dogma.
Stevie has had her own multiple decades-long situationship with her fellow bandmate Lindsey Buckingham, and Taylor probably finds that extremely relatable. Then there's this weird part where they talk about her engagement to Travis.
Best wishes. I think you're supposed to say best wishes to the girl, congratulations to the boy.
I never heard that until right now.
Well, congratulations to the man, because congratulations that you were able to get, this wonderful woman, and best wishes to the woman because it was a fait accompli that, of course, you guys would get married.
This is so good to learn.
Yes.
I love this.
Fait accompli. What a weird thing for Stephen Colbert to say. Was this phrase planted by Taylor in the discussion with Stephen before they did the interview? I'm sure all the businessmen, brands, and associates of Taylor also thought it was fait accompli for both of them to get engaged at the most profitable time for each of them. Such great timing for Travis to propose right before a new album promotion cycle.
Like, those two things that you just mentioned, right? Like, getting engaged to the love of my life, getting all my music back. Those were two things that just never could have happened. They could have just never happened. It wasn't like, oh, it's just a matter of time. Like, both those things could have just never arrived in my life.
Yep, you sure made both of those things happen, Taylor. Remember, none of it is accidental. Then she mentions the song Ready For It.
Like, I'd hear the song Ready For It and I'd be like, man, this song goes so hard. Conflicted feeling of like, man, those are my memories. And that's when I was going through that, right? Because a recording is such a snapshot of where you are in your life.
Were you sad because you didn't own the rights to that song, or more sad because you were thinking back to that time in your life when you wrote it? Because let's look back for what inspiration she could have been writing from for the Reputation album. Just so happens she had her first fling with Matty Healy at the end of 2014.
I was a robber, first time that he saw me.
Interesting line, considering that one of Matty's biggest songs at the time when Taylor wrote this was a song called Robbers.
He can be my jailer, merchant to this tailor.
Here she's referencing Elizabeth Taylor and her complicated but passionate relationship with her twice-married husband, Richard Burton. I have a whole other analysis video that I'm working on that's going to deep dive into each song on the Life of a Showgirl album and all the Richard Burton / Matty Healy parallels. But the fact that Taylor specifically calls out Ready For It in this context of this Matty-centric interview says a lot. Then the most interesting part of the interview is when she's asked her top 5 favorite songs from her own discography.
Wow, oh my God. Okay, so this is so much pressure. You're already writing 5. Oh my God.
Oh geez, I totally didn't think about my answer in a pre-interview discussion we had already. Oh, let me act flustered.
It was too soon to get it out, right? But I think I require a little bit of time to appreciate my work in a way, and it's constantly changing, right?
Too soon?
It's a little too soon, but I will say I think number 1 is All Too Well, the 10-minute version.
Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place? Okay.
I'm really obsessed with The Life of a Showgirl right now, the whole album.
Which is strange considering a lot of people didn't like that album when it first came out, myself included. But I'm thinking there's probably more to this album than meets the eye, and that maybe the goal was to put out an album that will age well and people can revisit it and appreciate it for reasons that were not clear at the time.
What you're going through in your life is going to affect whether you relate to the music that I'm putting out at any given moment. And what I often love seeing my fans say is, I used to be someone who didn't relate to Reputation, and now that I've been through some other things in my life, that's my favorite album.
And this has happened before with Taylor's previous albums Folklore, Evermore, and Midnights. Folklore and Evermore were supposed to be albums about a fictional teenage love triangle, but with time and context, it ended up being a lie that Taylor told Joe and the rest of the world while she was secretly pining over Matty Healy. And with Midnights, everyone thought she was thriving in a 6-year-long relationship with Joe, but she was actually plotting her breakup while working together on the album with Matty and Jack Antonoff while Joe was away. And in doing so, Midnights got relabeled as a preemptive breakup album. Nobody knew at the time when Midnights released that she was scheming like a criminal and dropping Easter eggs left and right because she was about to drop a breakup announcement with Joe on Matty's birthday. So her fake flustered acting in the beginning of this question is her way of saying, I need more time for my audience to sit with this album because everything will be revealed in due time.
Somewhere in this list, I think, is going to be a song called Mirror Ball. Like, it came on the other day, a friend sent it to me, and she was like talking about it, and I put it on, and I was just like, you know, and then you asked me this question, so I said it.
Oh yeah, it just popped into my head now because my friend sent it to me recently. It's not like I planned every word of this answer in extreme detail. It's interesting she picks Mirror Ball because that whole song is about being fake as fuck. I can change everything about me to fit in. I'll show you every version of yourself tonight. This reminds me of when she sang a mashup of Mirror Ball and Guilty as Sin on the Eras tour. The implication is that she's showing everyone a completely different side of herself to the public, but on the inside, she's guilty for fantasizing over Matty.
Can we could do an update at some point if I have some time to look back and be like, no, this is the top 5 we can do.
Yeah, we'll circle back to what my favorite songs are at that point, maybe after I break up with Travis. Then she reiterates the weird tangent stuff again, but with Steven becoming a podcaster after his show is off the air.
I feel like you're gonna write a really amazing mystery thriller where there's a house and it's covered in ivy, right?
Again, with the house covered in ivy. Now, some of this extra stuff, I don't even know where to begin dissecting it, but my point is that it's just weird. I'm still waiting for the real Taylor to return. I'm hoping that we'll get an answer to all of these Easter eggs with the exit sign because it still looks like our showgirl is still performing and hasn't left the stage yet. Maybe we'll find out more once there's a new 1975 album, and maybe after that, the Reputation vault tracks will finally be allowed to hatch. Until then...
Plot twist, unreliable narrator. She's the psycho.